Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 5 on WBON Channel 9, where every local story starts here. I'm Gwendolyn Morton. Well, charges have been filed in the overdose death of a Richmond man, and KSP arrests a local man on child sexual abuse charges. We're going to have all the details on those stories during the newscast. But first, some breaking news this afternoon in Richmond. A young Richmond girl was hit by a vehicle today in downtown Richmond. A female juvenile was reported as being struck by a vehicle on 2nd Street somewhere between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. Chief Rodney Richardson reported no criminal activity is suspected at this time. Collision reconstruction is on the scene currently, and the roadway is expected to be closed until further notice. And of course, we're going to keep you up to date on all the developments on that story right here on WBON TV. Well, a Lexington woman has been charged with manslaughter after allegedly selling pills containing pure fentanyl to a Richmond man. The man, identified as George Sparks of Richmond, passed away in February of 2022. In his residence, officials found Sparks' cell phone that contained evidence of an alleged drug exchange between Sparks and Cynthia Fields of Lexington. In July 2022, police went to Fields' home where she confirmed selling oxycodone pills to Sparks. Officials also found evidence in Fields' phone of drug trafficking. Police found messages exchanged between Sparks and Fields that also suggested that the oxycodone varied in quality, which further supports the idea that Fields allegedly sold Sparks counterfeit drugs and caused the lethal amount of fentanyl reported during Sparks' toxicology report. Fields' arraignment was scheduled for today, and her bond is currently set at $100,000. And of course, that's another story we're going to keep you up to date on right here on WBON TV Channel 9. Well, Estill County is where the bluegrass kisses the mountains, but there is so much more information about the area that many might not be aware of. The Estill County Public Library is looking to educate the public on some of the lesser-known historical facts about the area. With this story, here is WBON TV's Brett Noland.
We are here today at the Estill County Public Library on Broadway here in Irvin. On Tuesday, January 10th at 6 p.m., the library will be hosting a presentation of the history of Estill County. This presentation will be the first of a 4-part series that will each cover different time periods of historical significance. The public is invited to attend these events to learn more about the history of the beautiful mountain town we all call home. I spoke with Skip Johnson, who will be presenting these events, to find out more about what we can expect to learn, the topics that will be covered, and the overall goals of these future lectures.
A lot of people don't understand that at one time we were 10 degrees below the equator. But we're going to go from Pangea to when we were one continent to the Ice Age, basically. And we're going to talk about the hunters and gatherers who were here in Estill County. So we're going to touch base on what Estill County looked like geographically and physically and topographically. Right now, they're only scheduled for the next 4 Tuesdays in January, and we're going to see the response from the public. We have a lot of positive things in Estill County, and we want to talk about our resources and things that we can do to bring people into Estill County. They're going to tape this, and it will be put on the library's YouTube, so people will be able to see this.
The Estill County area, which encompasses the cities of Irvin and Ravenna, is rich in history that is deeply rooted in Appalachian tradition and sentiment that is still vibrantly reflected through the remaining historic sites, architecture, and people that reside within its communities to this day. You can find out more and follow updates on these presentations by following the Estill County Public Library on Facebook, by giving them a call at 606-723-3030, or by visiting them in person at 184 Broadway Street in Irvin. Reporting for WBON Channel 9 News here in Estill County, I'm Brett Nolan.
Thanks, Brett. Looks like there's a lot to get to know about Estill County. Well, the Kentucky State Police KSP Electronic Crime Branch arrested 42-year-old Dusty D. Dunaway on a charge related to a sexual abuse material. KSP says Dunaway was arrested as the result of the undercover Internet Crimes Against Children investigation. The KSP Electronic Crime Branch became aware of the investigation after discovering the suspect uploading images of child sexual exploitation online. Equipment used used to facilitate the crime was seized and taken to the KSP's Digital Forensic Laboratory for examination. The investigation is ongoing. Dunaway is currently charged with 1 count of distribution of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor over the age of 12, a Class D felony. Dunaway is lodged in the Madison County Detention Center. Well, Waco Fire and Rescue and Madison County Fire Department responded to a structure fire at Drowning Creek Road near the Madison-Estill County line last night around 6 p.m. Responders reported heavy fire coming from the windows of the structure upon arrival. Residents in the area confirmed the structure was a mobile home that had been abandoned for some time. The structure was a total loss. Firefighters had to then return to the scene around 4 a.m. today as that fire had reignited. Well, a Richmond woman was arrested yesterday after shoplifting the Richmond Walmart. According to reports, Becky Ann Hoover stole roughly $440 worth of items from Walmart. The loss prevention associate on duty at the time noticed the suspicious activity and notified authorities. Richmond police officers confronted Hoover, to which she responded by dropping the stolen items and fleeing the scene. Police officers tracked Hoover to a local gas station where she appeared to be concealing something on her person. Police questioned her and she admitted to possessing marijuana and methamphetamine. It was also discovered that Hoover had trespassed on a Walmart back in 2018. Hoover was arrested and charged with criminal trespassing, second degree, shoplifting, possession of marijuana, and possession of methamphetamine. Hoover is lodged in the Madison County Detention Center. Well, northbound traffic on I75 was temporarily snared on Sunday evening following a two-car collision that left the right 2 lanes closed. According to authorities, the accident occurred around 5:45 p.m. near the 64-mile marker. KSP Post 11 Trooper Scotty Pennington tells WBON that one motorist rear-ended another car at a high rate of speed. This caused the vehicle to flip over onto its roof in the middle lane. The other vehicle became disabled in the right lane. When first responders arrived to the scene of the crash, the motorist who was responsible for causing the crash failed a breathalyzer test, blowing over the legal limit. This individual was arrested, and according to the Mount Vernon Fire Department, those involved in the crash received apparent minor injuries. Well, the community in South Laurel area is being warned by Laurel County Sheriff's Office about a strange car that has allegedly been trying to pull over other vehicles. Deputy Alan Turner claims the car has blue flashing lights. Officers issue a warning to the public not to stop for this car because the driver is not a police officer. The car has been located, but authorities are still looking for the suspect because there is no reason behind the incident, and that's still unknown. Authorities ask you to call the Laurel County Sheriff's Office if you have any information on this case. With that, we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. We've got the weather coming up and sports still too, right here on Live at 5.
At Fast Flow Plumbing, you aren't sending your money to Texas and Florida to the big corporate plumbing companies. We're local, and that allows us to invest in the latest technologies like Permaliner for no-dig sewer replacements, which we warranty for 20 years. Fast Flow is the future of plumbing. Don't destroy your landscaping and finished basement because a plumber tells you he has to replace your sewer. Keep your home beautiful. Call a local pro at Fast Flow.
If you've dreamed of a job where you can help keep your family and community safe while planning for the future, then you need to check out the Fayette County Detention Center.
We're starting out $20 an hour. We have 8 paid holidays, 120 hours of sick time and vacation time a year. When you work a holiday, you actually make double pay. Our retirement is at 25 years. If you start out at 21, you'll be fully retired at 46, 25, fully retired at 50. Fayette County Detention Center is an amazing place to work.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
The City of Richmond Stormwater Management Program works to protect our waterways from pollution and to help citizens with stormwater runoff and flooding. Stormwater is the rain and snow that runs off rooftops, roads, sidewalks, and other surfaces that cannot absorb water, which affects water quality. The City of Richmond Stormwater Management Program is dedicated to helping its citizens understand what stormwater is and its impacts on our watersheds and waterways. For more info, visit buildrichmondky.com and click on the Stormwater tab.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
Man Chrysler in Richmond is Truck Town, USA. New trucks, used trucks, little trucks, big trucks, short trucks, long trucks. Hey, that's not a truck. Work trucks and fancy trucks. Who says you can't get a truck? Come on down to Man Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Richmond for your best deal today. Truck Town, USA.
Welcome back to Live at 5 on WBON Channel 9. A pretty cool day, but I guess it's what you can expect for the beginning of January. I don't like it, but I guess there's some people out there that do. We've got meteorologist Susie Nelson. She is in the Weather Center with all the details of what we can expect for this work week.
Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. Let's take a look at our weather from the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Weather Center. We've been tracking pretty dry weather with lots of sunshine and still anticipating a pretty benign outlook into tomorrow. But one thing that we'll be noticing are these warmer temperatures. We do have a warming trend ahead before we start to see some substantial changes happening later this week. A wet Thursday with showers spreading and then cold returning by Friday as we get hit with a cold front. And this will be knocking down the temperatures and maybe even the potential for a few snowflakes later this week. But let's take a look at our immediate outlook. So into this evening, we'll be down to just below the freezing point and a pretty quiet night ahead of us. Nothing too concerning at this point in time. We do have a rather mild scene ahead of us, and again, limited opportunities for rain. A few clouds passing through, but as you can see, no big opportunities for precipitation. This will begin to change, though, as we head into our Thursday's time frame specifically, but maybe even into Wednesday evening and night. We do have some shower threats on the rise, and the deal is we have this next cold front advancing, and this is going to be pushing its way through the Ohio Valley and the Commonwealth, generating some rain, maybe some rumbles of thunder. Very mild air out ahead of this system, but behind this front, we've got the colder air that will begin to feed across the region. For tonight, we've got low temperatures down to 29 degrees in Winchester, Lexington down to 32, Mount Vernon at 30. And then as we take a look at our hourly forecast, you can see we'll be in the 30s for about the 9 a.m. hour and then building into those 50s by the afternoon. So it should be a nice scene here with a combination of sun and clouds, really a very mild scenario for us for this time of the year thanks to south flow. Winds coming out of the south that may gust up to around 20 miles per hour or so. But turning into some shower threats here by Wednesday and stormy potentially into Thursday. I'm not too concerned with severe threats, but look at the big difference with their temperatures as we head into our Friday with even some snow showers possible. Back to you.
Thanks, Susie. And for weather all the time, you can find it on Channel 9 online. Check out our Facebook page and WBONTV.com. A woman was arrested on charges of drug paraphernalia and trafficking of a controlled substance in Richmond Friday night. Officers made a traffic stop due to failure to use a turn signal. The driver was identified and ran through the National Crime Information Center, but was clear the passenger was identified as Sarah Thomas, who was also put through NCIC and was revealed to have 2 active warrants. Police brought a K9 unit to do an air sniff and ultimately alerted to the odor of narcotics. According to the report, upon a search of the vehicle, officers found a small purse containing small plastic bags, multiple syringes, a glass methamphetamine pipe, and 4 plastic bags containing brown powder suspected to be heroin. The purse also contained identification for Thomas. Thomas was arrested and taken to the Madison County Detention Center. Well, Democratic State Representative Lisa Wilner has filed legislation that would restore a graduated income tax rate for those earning $100,000 or more annually starting in 2024, saying that Kentucky simply cannot afford the ongoing shift in tax policy that benefits the wealthy, hurts middle and lower income families, and puts vital government services at risk. Under her legislation, those earning between $100,000 and $125,000 in 2024 would see their individual income tax rate return to 5%, while those earning more than $125,000 would have their tax rate move to 6%. For those making more than $150,000, all income would be taxed at 6%. A 6% top income tax rate was what Kentucky had for over 80 years until it was lowered by the General Assembly in 2018. Representative Wilner noted that many of her fellow Kentucky House Democratic Caucus members, including caucus leaders Derek Graham, Sherlyn Stevenson, and Rachel Roberts, have already signed on as co-sponsors. And she said others who are part of the broad coalition opposing this year's House Bill 1 have also added their support. We've got some very good news for one of our local communities, some very positive economic news for Montgomery County as Neogen Corporation, an animal and food safety product manufacturer, has opened its new facility in Montgomery County. The opening is a result of a nearly $10 million investment that's expected to create around 80 full-time jobs for the area. Neogen has operated in Kentucky since 1992 when they acquired Elisa Technologies. Elisa was formed in 1990 through a license agreement with the University of Kentucky to develop diagnostic test kits to detect abused and therapeutic drugs in racehorses and greyhounds. Lexington serves as Neogen's animal safety headquarters, which has grown to employ 170 residents across 2 Lexington facilities. On January 7th, at approximately 6:30 p.m., the Kentucky State Police London Post responded to a 3-vehicle collision that occurred on Kentucky 90 near Fraser Road in Wayne County. This accident resulted in 1 fatality. The initial investigation indicates that a 2012 Mazda 3 operated by Mark K. Hinkle, 62 years old of Monticello, Kentucky, was traveling east on Kentucky 90 when he lost control of his vehicle and crossed to the westbound lanes and hit a 2003 Chevy Tahoe operated by Tori L. Dale Russell, 26 years old of Monticello. The Mazda continued traveling west and struck a 3rd vehicle, a 2016 Toyota Tundra operated by Rosa L. Jointer, 61 of Monticello. As a result of the collision, Mr. Hinkle suffered fatal injuries. Hinkle was pronounced deceased by the Wayne County Coroner's Office. Rosa Jointer was transported by Wayne County EMS to Wayne County Hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. An autopsy is scheduled for Mr. Hinkle in Frankfort at the State Medical Office. With that, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. If you like sports, you're going to love what Dawson Rule has for you today on our Sports Report. Coming up next.
Choose Mercy Health, Markham and Wallace Hospital for your health care. Consider having your preventative care such as a CT lung screening, a mammogram, or a colonoscopy at Markham and Wallace Hospital. You can feel safe to come to the hospital campus. Following CDC guidelines, our care team is doing everything possible to ensure your safety and well-being. For more information about Markham and Wallace Hospital, call 606-723-2115 or visit mercy.com.
Batteries Unlimited in Richmond can energize you when your batteries fade out. They can also cut and make most home and automobile keys, replace and program key fobs, and make copies of your house keys. Plus, cell phone screen repair. Bring in your Apple or Samsung today. We are your home for all batteries. Go see Chris at Batteries Unlimited, Commercial Drive in Richmond.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
If you love local sports, you'll love the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Join your hosts Samantha Burford and Michael Watkins as they break down, recap, and preview sports news in our area. Each Monday night from 6 to 7 on WBON TV Channel 9 and on Y92.5, V99.3, and CBS Sports Radio 103.5. The Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show is also brought to you by the Richmond Raceway, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and Bishop's Small Engine Repair.
Chenault Vineyards has become a premier destination in Richmond for family and friends looking for fun and entertainment. The vineyard sits on 500 acres with breathtaking views and several different things for you to enjoy while you're there. Live music, tastings, tours, a walking trail, or maybe you'd like to host your own event at the vineyard. Visit ChenaultVineyards.com to check out the complete list of upcoming events. Like them on Facebook to stay informed, or like Chenault Vineyards on Instagram.
Welcome back. Basketball was being played all over the place this weekend in the area. Big wins by Madison Southern and EKU were key highlights from all of the games. Now with sports with our new sports anchor, Dawson Rule.
Starting on Friday night, basketball in the area was putting out wins all over, from EKU to our Madison County teams. Madison Southern came up to Richmond to face 44th District rival Model. The Eagles came out shooting well and beat a Model team that was looking for a big team win at home. Zach Hudson led the way with 23 points on 3 3-pointers, while Jay Rose had 15 and senior Brett Erskland scored 13 in a game where the big man dominated. He added in 10 rebounds to secure a double-double as well. Kason Nobby had a steady 7 points for his team, and Ashton Hazelwood had 3 points as well. Model struggled shooting with only 34% field goal percentage on the night. Cale Vickers had 15 points though on 3 or 4 3-pointers. Leighton Coleman and Dillard Crockett both had 10 points also. The team had 29 rebounds compared to Madison Southern's 39 team boards. Madison Central also survived a road test against Henry Clay. Jalen Davis scored 22 points, including the final 2 at the free throw line with 4 seconds left, which secured the Central big win. Robbie Todd had 16, and Jaden West and Eli Steele both added 6. Now, the next day, EKU had a big ASUN test against a top team that contends every single year, Liberty. The Flames came into Baptist Health Arena at 12-4 in the first meeting this year, and EKU was 9-7, and they were looking to finally get a big win. EKU was battling in the first half and went to the break up 1 point, and the game stayed close throughout. During the second half, though, an 11-0 run by EKU helped the Colonels hang on for a big 62-59 win. Devontae Bland led the way with 16 points and 8 boards, closely followed by Cooper Robbs, 15 points and 5 boards. Turner Butcher was a killer off the bench too, scoring 6 points in 10 minutes of action. On Liberty's side, Kyle Rhodes, a local guy who played in Lexington at LCA for high school. He added in 9 points in 32 minutes, while Brody Peoples and Colin Porter for the Flames were both in double figures as well. Now, Liberty had a shot to tie at the buzzer, which was missed thankfully, gave EKU a much-needed big ASUN win. Now, EKU has 2 giant home games this week against some more ASUN teams. Florida Gulf Coast and Stetson both come to Richmond this week. Florida Gulf Coast on Thursday is 13-4, and they have a big win over USC on the road, while Stetson comes here Saturday as they're 4-0 in conference play. These games will largely dictate standings throughout the month of January, so get out to EKU and support the team this week. Tonight's also the big return of the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Tonight, the trio of Michael, Samantha, and myself will be back to talk local high school sports and college sports. We also have 2 planned guests, but if you want to know who those are, you're going to have to wait to tune in. This week, we also have planned some potential basketball games to broadcast, so if your team's playing, we may be there. It's going to be a great month of sports here with WBON, and there's going to be lots of updates and news with school starting back soon, which officially marks winter sports going strong. Join me back here tomorrow for sports around 5 o'clock for some more great local sports news. Now that we've had a great sports recap, let's head back to our Live at 5 news desk, where Grenlin's waiting to bring you some more news. Grenlin, take it away.
Thanks, Dawson, for that sports report. Lots of great basketball news right here in the area. We're going to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere. Still lots of news to come right here on Live at 5.
WBON TV 9 is proud to be your source for local news, local weather, and local sports. At WBON TV 9, we pride ourselves on being the local leader when something happens in our area. Channel 9 reaches nearly 900,000 people with our over-the-air coverage. WBON TV 9 is also the #1 source you turn to locally for news on Facebook and WBONTV.com. Now you can enjoy all the local news, weather, and sports each weekday afternoon. Join us each weekday from 5 to 5:30 for the Live at 5 newscast. It's streaming on the WBON TV Facebook page, YouTube channel, Roku channel, and our live player on WBONTV.com. And of course on Richmond's new and first TV channel, available on Channel 9.1 over the air, Spectrum Channel 712, and on Urban Community Television, PRTC Cable, and Crystal Broadband. WBON TV, where every local story starts here.
To some, it's just a boat. But to Jim, it's his escape from meetings, traffic, and the grind of daily life. He may not catch any keepers, but he wouldn't trade his day on the lake for anything in the world. That's why his boat is insured by Kentucky Farm Bureau. But it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. It's Jim's Recharge the Battery Farm Bureau. My Farm Bureau.
David Mayo, John Rader, and Chris Hornsby with Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Support local and get your vehicle running at its peak performance with CT Diesel Performance off Exit 97 in Richmond. Chris Thorne and his staff specialize in diesel performance and repair that will service any vehicle, big or small, with oil changes, brakes, tires, alignments, and more. Broke down and need a tow? Well, call CT Diesel at 859-699-8712. Like them on Facebook to enter a weekly drawing for a free oil change. CT Diesel Performance off Exit 97 in Richmond.
It's the common thread that ties us together, making life better for everyone. At CVNB, that means better banking, better accounts and lending, better experiences, better schools and better communities. Better. It's what ties us together. CVNB. Bank better.
At WBON TV 9, you can count on our weather team to keep you up to date with all the latest developments, watches, and warnings.
We're here for you night and day, 24/7, no matter what the weather brings.
WBON TV 9 and our media partner 100.7 The Coyote are dedicated to you. That's why we say when the weather turns extraordinary, so does our coverage.
Get your forecast each weekday during the Live at 5 newscast on WBON TV 9, where every local story starts here.
Well, welcome back to Live at 5. Well, according to reports, an industrial accident in Georgetown today resulted in the death of a worker. The accident occurred around 2 this morning. According to Scott County Coroner Mark Sutton, it happened at the YS Precision Stamping on Corporate Drive there in Georgetown. The victim has been named as Frankfurt resident Bruno Naba, 52 years old. Although the Georgetown Police Department is reportedly conducting an investigation, Sutton claims he is unable unable to divulge any information regarding Nada's cause of death at this point. This is a developing story. Well, thanks so much for joining us here today on Live at 5. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. You can join Michael, Samantha, and Dawson right here at 6 p.m. They're going to have Yamil Cruz and Kirsten Osborne on there talking about their college commitments. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, Live at 5.